Time! Ball hitting! First base!
Hayes, go run for Rube.
My leg's hurt.
I'll run. Rube's hurting worse than you. Now get in there.
If the gutless wonder doesn't have to pitch, why should I have to run?
Who you calling a gutless wonder, Tin Man?
Tin Man? I got a genuine leg injury here, pal.
Yeah, that limp is the best acting you've done all year.
But at least I don't have some cover girl dragging me around by my Johnson.
What are you guys doing? This isn't nice. Stay away from me. Don't touch me. Help!
I'll show you a fight. Come on. I'll take on the whole team. Come on, you don't know how to fight. You wussy.
Harry, wake up, Harry. Huh? Look.
Huh? My God. Good news, fans. The Indians are showing signs of life for the first time in weeks. As a matter of fact, they appear to be beating the crap out of each other. It looks like Willie Hayes is trying to hit Rick Vaughn. And why not? Everybody else in the league does. He swings and misses. I don't know, Monty. It looks like Vaughn's carrying his left a little low. This could hurt him in the later rounds.
So what are we gonna do?
Toss him, I guess.
The whole team?
Yeah.
All right, you're out of here! Oh, yeah!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to TMRP, the Metropolis Radio Podcast. Today, we are looking at all of the Fandom Menace Drama that just broke recently. And yes, I started this video off with that scene from Major League 2 because this is what this movement has essentially turned into. It's just a bunch of infighting with each other that will only harm them in the long run. And the most recent drama between Ryan Kinel-RK Outpost and Doomcock is not the only piece of drama that has happened within this movement just within the last couple of months. So let's examine the movement as a whole and judge if whether or not it's truly falling apart. And we will even predict what the movement will look like in both the short and long terms if this shit keeps going. Now, I'm going to come out right away and say this. I think the damage has already been done to the Fandom Menace. So let's just examine the damage because that's all we can basically do. So to understand the current drama that's going on, we need to go back to ground zero. And that was the Zack Snyder drama on Geeks and Gamers. This was a live stream to raise money for Zack Snyder's charity just prior to the release of the Justice League Snyder Cut on HBO Max. Anyways, just watch the clip of what happened when Zack Snyder came in.
Now, without any further ado, we all know the story. We all know the movement. But now, we bring in the man. He is the director of the Snyder Cut. He is the leader of this movement, the figurehead of this movement. He is the one, the only Zack Snyder.
There he is. What's up, man?
Hello.
Hey, guys.
Brother.
Hey guys, how you doing? How's everybody doing?
Good.
Doing great.
Listen, just a quick thing before we get started. I know that on our donation page, we still have the Geeks and Gamers logo. I just want to say that I really we talked about this, and we're really not affiliated with Geeks and Gamers as far as I'm concerned, and I really just want to make that clear. And I also want to just say, in light of recent events, I think we really, if Justice League teaches us anything, it's about coming together, and there's no room for hate. And I just think that it's important. It's an important message. And of course, as the father of Asian children, it really hits close to home for me. And I just really want to put that out there that we all, there's no room for hate. And that's just what it's about.
Absolutely.
One might wonder why no one said anything to put Zack Snyder in check. Well, let's hear from the leader of Geeks and Gamers himself. I'll tell you this move wasn't popular even amongst people that Geeks and Gamers has worked with or has some association with. If I'm not mistaken, I also think Jeremy turned the situation around to be about himself and my brand. Oh, my brand got damaged. Jeremy, It's not just about your fucking brand. It's about your fan base. You wouldn't have a fucking brand if you didn't have a fucking fan base to go along with it. You know, don't go all fucking Pat Contry on everyone here when he attacked everyone for criticizing Blizzard at BlizzCon. Oh my god. And if I can find that, the clip would have already rolled. But let's see young Rippa's reaction to the Zack Snyder incident.
Making egregious, disrespectful claims. Right? Egregious, disrespectful claims, or rather tying people to that. That can't be tolerated, bro. That's a problem. And people think that's okay. This is why they sit up there and pull their card in the event they want to paint someone as a bad person. But these guys got to be checked for that. And this is where I think, and where I obviously disagreed with some of the people on the panel last night, which is cool. Everybody had different ideas about how this went down. But that guy got to get checked in that situation. And it can be respectful. Like, as soon as that guy says that, oh, wait a minute, nobody assumed that you were part of the Geeks and Gamers team, but why would you feel like you need to disassociate yourself from them? Definitely considering all this money that we raised for this. That would have been a simple thing. And if he folded, if he had to bounce, if he quit the stream, oh well. But that can't go unaddressed. You know what I'm saying?
There's no denying that this is ground zero for all of the stuff that the Fandom Menace is now dealing with, looking back with the benefit of hindsight. And I think we can all agree with that. Now let's take a look at the Mecha Random 42 situation with her comments on Zack Snyder. And this was a couple of months after the Geeks and Gamers live stream when Zack Snyder basically disassociated himself from the group that was hosting the live stream, which was funnier than shit. But anyway, yeah, a couple of months later, and it's like, I believe that Mecha Random 42 was streaming on her own channel and made this comment. Now, this clip isn't the highest quality since she unlisted the stream like she does with all of her streams, so I have to rely on another source.
These people are trying to hurt me. These people are literally trying to harm my channel. I've got a few of them, so I deleted this video where I used, I smacked and censored and said he deserved to have his feelings hurt the way he hurt our feelings. I was angry. I shouldn't have said it, probably. That's why I deleted it. They shouldn't be fucking attacking me for it. Nor was it anything that really crossed the line. Nor was it anything that even crossed the line. So now they're making up shit. Did I blame Zack Snyder for his daughter's suicide? Well, I don't know. Maybe if you were a good, reasonable father, can we rule out that he wasn't a contributing factor? I mean, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree after all. And I don't know. Do you think that maybe he could have done something, like been around to stop it? Maybe if you guys are gonna fucking attack me, for something, then maybe don't use Twitter when I'm in jail from it. I'm so tired of this shit. I'm so tired of these people. Oh, and the Rattle Hensley, thank you so much for the super sticker. And it's his biggest regret in life, having a kid, yeah. So I have somebody else attacking me over this. Somebody else. I hope you never have to go through what Zach went through. What? I'm not stupid enough to spit out an unwanted brat of a child that's probably useless to society anyway, because I can control my reproductive system.
Yeah, don't try to tell me that was a suicide joke told in poor taste. In my opinion, she was fucking genuine when she made that claim. This clip from her stream made the rounds, and everyone who despises the Fandom Menace weighed in on it, and it was even affecting every channel who associated with her. But don't just take my word for it. This clip is almost 7 minutes long, but I need it all to give context for the follow-up to this. I also had to pull this clip from another channel for the same reasons. This is from the High Council that World Class Bullshitters has hosted since about 2016, and you may hear some other commentary over it. It's from the channel that I ripped this from, and I'll link this channel in the description.
The story, it's the most beautiful poetic response. The artist himself goes back and redraws it a final time. Humorous, perfect, done. The crazies online took it to the next level.
Oh, they fucking went ape shit.
That is when it gets ugly. Like, if that's the end of the story, person calls out artist says, hey, you're not as good as me in so many different ways, and then draws it again in their newer, more refined style to just stick it to them.
Where's Joe
To me,
Quesada?
that's ultimate comeuppance. But then it got ugly. Like,
Joe.
Well, they try to cancel him at that point.
yeah, that's not a cancelable offense. You know what? He's standing up for himself. The dude made it to the top. These people didn't. And you know what? J. Scott Campbell doesn't go, well, if you don't look at it too closely, it's not a problem. Like,
yeah, I know. That's the funny part about it is the guy, person, whatever, was like, don't look at it too much and criticize my work, even though I'm going and criticizing somebody else's work. It's like, wait a second. If you're going and criticizing somebody else's work by putting out a drawing and saying, and trying to deflect criticism, saying, this was done quickly, don't judge my work because blah, 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 that's a fucking excuse because people are going to go and rip your shit apart at that point.
Right.
So I'm going to move on because we do have a few more super chats and I got to jump over to the other stream.
That's cool, dude.
The stunning and brave Paisley Hidalgo says, Clownfish TV just released a video titled Kid Book Published on How to Avoid Toxic Fandoms. Look it up. I will. I might have to read it as Buffalo Jeff if anyone wants to send us a copy. Buffalo Jeff will read any book to make you uncomfortable. I should read the phone book. Dr. Idiot says, Mary, the best medicine tastes bitter. Well, we did get to read that one to Mary, Dr. Idiot, but thank you very much.
At least now we know where we're at.
Yeah. Primer says, Pan Am and Sears used to be massive. Not anymore.
Yep.
That's
my point.
And let's see.
Right.
Let me pull up the other window.
This is what these videos are like.
Apparently, Google.
You have no idea what I sacrificed myself to.
Silly.
For this channel.
But here's the thing, though, is, I mean, I don't know if you're making that reference as opposed to my Coke and McDonald's.
No, my comments about companies now are nothing lasting forever.
Oh yeah, well that's true too. But like things like the whole like X-Men and Marvel and all those they'll just always be reestablished. Those kind of things will live on past the entities that own them.
Right.
So here's a question I have. So
I got a question.
Are you trying to say that like when an artist like Anna redraws somebody's artwork, that it's basically like when the SJWs get upset and they put too many clothes on something and they redraw it because she's an actual professional artist and not like a little Tumblr?
I don't think that makes any difference here, is my point.
I think it does. If a professional artist goes and redraws something, then it's not just being hypocritical because
I guess it depends on the intent behind it, right? I mean, if she's
the intent.
Because
one thing is, if she's taking professional artwork and making it better just to make a point of how shitty it is, that's different. I think that's completely different.
But again, we also have to look at it as
no. She's a professional, Tommy. She's a professional, so she gets the right to draw and criticize. If it's some little random Yahoo asshole Twitterati woke tard motherfucker, then they can get stuffed and then they can cry and complain. I think that's the big difference. When it's like a professional, real, legit artist.
Yeah. Well, even if it's a woke tard going and redrawing somebody's professional artwork, if it was actually better, I wouldn't have a problem with it.
Well, better or not, if you want to go that route, that's actually more insulting to the original artist, in fact.
Well, that original artist is shitty.
Well, it doesn't matter, because if she's a professional, then she should know better. That's not something you should do as a common courtesy of being a professional. If you want to go that route, I don't want to have to even get to that point. My point is,
actually, they should be hiring people like her instead of these people who really are lacking talent. I think that maybe more artists, like professional artists out there, should call this shit out and say, "Look, you're hiring these idiots who are garbage when you could just pay a little more and get a better quality product."
Well, yeah, and the other thing too, Tom, what's the difference between when just some guy or your boy Zach went and roasted a Marvel comic because of how terrible it was? I mean, we're all amateurs, and granted, we're also the people buying the product. But I mean, there's plenty of people out there, whether they be professional or not, that go and criticize stuff and say, "This is what I would have done." Like your Critical Drinker does the exact same things with TV shows and movies, talking about.
I'm not talking about being critical, though. I don't care if anybody wants to go out there and say, "Oh, your version sucks." That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it's hypocritical for us to hold somebody else to a standard when we defend others who do the same.
It's hypocritical for you people to get butthurt over what I said over the Snyder thing. And you guys did, and you guys got really fucking butthurt over it. So, you know, you guys are kind of...
Not us.
Not you, really?
You want to bring this on? You want to bring this out in the fucking public? That's your fucking problem. You shouldn't have said it in the first place.
Hey, you're the ones who got upset with. So Zack Snyder, Father of the Year, who's kind of a jerk. Yeah, I said it.
Yeah, and because of that, people won't come on our show now. And I shouldn't even fucking be here because you're here. I don't want to be associated with somebody who wants to say something stupid like.
I don't want to be associated with a woke-here-than-now person who has decided to not only come after anything anybody says like he knows better than them, but for crying out loud, I mean, come on, get over it. I've seen bands like Gwar in concert who have done far worse. If people are going to get offended over what I say, yet still defend people like Gina Carano, then you guys are hypocrites. You guys are. Sorry.
Well, I'm going to move on.
Out of this whole clip, then there was a new drama started with Tom from Midnight's Edge out of this whole clip. Now, I don't know how true it all is because the people like Jessi, Milestone, and Mary Mayhem have yet to show any evidence of his alleged behavior behind the scenes as of the recording of this video. And I'll show a bit of that, but let's watch what happens when Mecha Random 42 doubles down on her comments.
Doctor anyway.
I just like to pause for a second. All right, we got Tom here. The other times I talked about it wasn't me interrupted and trying to change my point. I was trying to stick up for Hannah. I've always been in her corner. Okay, see, Tom, the thing is, you're talking once again. Okay, you know that scene in Mean Girls when the principal says, "Raise your hand if you've ever," or Tina Fey says, "Raise your hand if you've ever felt personally victimized by Regina George," and the entire fucking gym raises their hand, including the principal. Yeah. So this is one of those like, hey, raise your hand if you've ever felt misrepresented, talked over by Tom from Midnight's Edge.
Well, let me just say, because I mean, I know that you have your own grievances that you're going to get into. This is my only thing, and I didn't realize that there was an issue until last night. But I mean, I did watch that live stream, and I went over multiple parts to see if I was missing anything. But accusing me of doing paintovers that I have never done and editing characters that I have never touched, that was, again, it was just more so of, and I tweeted this last night, it's like, you want to talk about me live on air and accuse me of doing things that I've never done and, you know, make assumptions and accusations against me when all you need to do is watch my videos or my live streams. And the one that was correct was, the Snowflake and Safe Space one. Well, guess what? That comic got canceled. You know who was part of that comic, not coming out? Because I embarrassed their artists because he can't draw anatomy. I did 3 live streams on it where I drew and I fixed the anatomy on it, showing that he does not know how to draw a skeleton. And then, I did make some things that I think were designs that would work better for the characters that they were achieving. And I embarrassed them. And yes, it was everyone else talking about it and it getting just completely destroyed. But I've worked with these people before, or at least people that they work with. And when they see me posted on Facebook and people that I know that I've worked with that watch, and they see that, it gets back to them. So just because I don't advertise my sources and I don't advertise certain things doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And the reason I do these things is because, yes, there are already established IPs, but then there's also the standard of you are working for DC, Marvel, Disney. Well, Blue Sky doesn't exist.
The guy, he's a giant fuck who came into our community, fucked around, went off, fucked around some more, and is just becoming a bigger fuck by the day. So I don't care how tasteless or cruel or insulting any joke is. If it's directed at Zack Snyder, I really don't give a fuck. I have no respect for that man. So I really don't give a shit what's hurtled at him. And for someone to come under fire for that at all?
But Jessi, that's the thing. You can say whatever you want about him, but leave his children out of it.
Why?
Oh my God, Mecca, do not say that in the chat. Really?
Who's saying what?
You're not helping your case.
Yeah.
If anything, you're making me more upset.
a very distasteful comment. I'm not going to read it word for word. You can just read it for yourself on the screen right here. Some people within the Fandom Menace have come out and disassociated themselves from her, including Midnight's Edge. In fact, if you look at her Twitter profile right now, she is claiming that she exposed the Fandom Menace Whisper Network because she basically blacklisted herself. She's even claiming that these people unfairly canceled her, as I just stated. And what is so funny is after that drama between Mecha Random 42 and Tom from Midnight's Edge started, most of the women in the Fandom Menace are now trying to Me Too Tom.
Coincidence? I think not!
Now, I have to give Anna, that Star Wars girl, credit where credit is due for wisely reading the room and getting the fuck out of Dodge before shit got real bad. And there's a lot of people that have come out and revealed the type of person that Mecha Random 42 actually is in real life. But I've gone on long enough about her, so let's just move on to the most recent events. And you can look this stuff up if you're interested, but I believe I've shown enough to suggest what type of person she is in real life. And here's what I have to say to Mecha if she feels like she's been canceled for no reason.
Let her go, Anakin! Let her go! You turned her against me! You have done that yourself!
Now let's take a look at the most current drama, which is Ryan Kinel-RK Outpost versus Doomcock. And this is the most recent out of all of them. As of the recording of this video, I think this just happened over last weekend. You know, Ryan Kinel was on Friday Night Tights over on Nerdrotic's channel, and well, you have to see the clip for yourself.
The news is that Kathleen Kennedy is imminently gonna be fired when her contract runs out.
Yeah.
And has she gone or is she here? Kathleen Kennedy's employment status is queer.
And that was the update.
Thank you for the update.
If you actually believe some fucking dude who says he got 8 different sources and has said 25 different things and none of them have come true, and you continue to hang on his every word when he says, oh, another source came out and said 80% of what I've told you is true. You are fucking retarded if you can't see that shit. You might as well go sip for Geeky Pixie.
So I take it you don't buy it.
No,
Wait,
it's
sorry.
nothing to buy.
Are we talking about a particular source here, or am I missing
Tomato?
Yeah, I'm talking about if you if legitimately you're just hanging on the every word of Doomcock every time he fucking comes with one of these different rumors about the same fucking thing over and over again. Yeah, I think that's.
Do you have a beef with him or something? Are you?
No,
What's the beef, Ryan?
It sounds like you do.
Show me on the doll where it hurt you, Ryan.
He didn't hurt me.
Did he say you looked like a Flash Gordon supervillain or something? Show me on the doll where Doomcock touched you.
At the end of the day, I mean, for the longest, we all hoped Kathleen Kennedy was gone, but I have come to the conclusion she's not going any fucking where until she's ready, and I think they've proven that. They publicly fired Gina Carano and shamed her. At that point, if you had any faith that Disney was going to move in a different direction, I think that should have been the moment where everybody realized that whatever faith that we had that this would get corrected, it's not happening.
Well, I remember that 2 years. This was great because I've always believed that Doomcock has been more of a detriment to the Fandom Menace than anything. The guy always reports on rumors, but most of the stuff that he quote-unquote reports on have never come to fruition. The moment that sites like Bounding into Comics and even Midnight's Edge started reporting on these rumors is when they lost a lot of credibility for me. In that clip, you can see a lot of people nervous to weigh in on the situation because most, if not all of the people on that panel know him. Hell, Gary, the host of Nerdrotic, even hosts a show with Doomcock. Now, why do you think they asked Ryan if Doomcock ever hurt him? Well, Doomcock took to Twitter and was also upset about what Ryan said. Let's look at the tweet. I'm going to splash it up on the screen right now so you can read along. It says, quote, I said absolutely nothing publicly about the incident for over 24 hours. The comments were made live and publicly. And Gary said absolutely nothing to mitigate it. I tried 4 times to address this privately. No reply. After 24 hours, I had to respond to this insult to me and my fans. End quote. And Doomcock just went on and on and on and on and on about this on fucking Twitter. And I'm going to splash his tweets up on the screen right now. And you may have to pause a lot here because there's a lot and I don't want to drag this out longer than it needs to be. Personally, I just think that it's funny that he was so fucking butthurt over the fact that someone in his own movement has called him on his own bullshit and he can't handle it. Doomcock, why is it okay to hold places like The Hollywood Reporter or Variety or Deadline or Kotaku or Gizmodo or insert other legacy news site here to these ethical journalistic standards when it comes to anything that they do, but no one can hold you to the same standard for reporting on rumors that never fucking pan out? Why is there this double standard with you? Reporting false rumors, and I know that you know this, but you know that reporting false rumors does more harm than fucking good. And that's the danger of reporting on the rumor mill. He even went so far as to call Ryan Kinel a troll, and that to me was just fucking hilarious, because that to me told me right then and there, he's lost the fucking argument. And now, if we look over at Ryan's Twitter, he did put out a tweet that said, quote, I completely stand by my opinion on the validity of Doomcock's rumors and sources. For the fans who felt I was attacking you for supporting someone, I apologize. I take a lot of shit, and this time my words didn't come across clearly. I own that 100%, end quote. He even went further and did a live stream where he elaborated on this further. Let's go ahead and roll that clip.
When it comes to these Star Wars rumors, this is kind of what's setting everything off, right? When it comes to these Star Wars rumors, over the past 2 years, maybe, since about middle of 2019, I guess, we have been hearing a lot of different rumors about Star Wars. And when you look at them, effectively, none of them have been legitimate. None of them have come to fruition. When you talk about the Rise of Skywalker leaks, those were on Reddit and 4chan before there were YouTube videos out there about them. You know, that's where that information came from. We did a video talking about it before any of that leaked information was out there, a reaction to it when we found out. And then when that trailer came out, it confirmed everything that was in those Jedi Paxos leaks. When it comes to Doomcock and like the rumors that are getting put out there, I don't believe these sources anymore. You know, originally in 2019, I was kind of with everybody else, like seeing things come out. Maybe there's legitimacy there. But at this point, to me, when I look at everything that's happened, like those sources are not reliable. They have not been reliable. Kathleen Kennedy's gone, then she's fired, then she's back to stay, then she's won the Civil War, then there is a Civil War. Oh, and by the way, in the midst of this Lucasfilm Civil War, no one realized that Dave Filoni had actually been promoted by Kathleen Kennedy in the middle of it. All of these things that have culminated, that I don't believe this shit at all. Now, are these sources legitimate? Like, are they real people? I can't speak on that. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. What I do know is that they have not been accurate. So I get a little bit frustrated when I see so many people hanging on like to these rumors, like, and having that kind of like taking that at face value, because that gives people hope. When we're talking about respecting your audience, to me, one of the things that really irritates me when it comes to respecting your audience is I want to tell you guys what's actually going on. I want to be accurate. And if a source has been wrong 30 times before, then I don't think propagating that, I don't think continuing to use that source that has been wrong over and over and over again is really respect. That's kind of how I feel about it. So it frustrates me a lot when I see, when I see that going on. That led to what happened on Friday Night Tights, and we will get to that.
Now let's look at why the Fandom Menace is falling apart, and I think a good amount of it is their lack of credibility. And it really comes down to these people just wanting to hate everything. They ran the anti-Last Jedi content straight into the ground, and now have to find other things to hate. And if you don't believe me, just watch these clips of their various trailer reactions.
A black Commissioner Gordon. Bat boots.
Having a clue.
More lies.
Play a game. Just me and you.
Riddler.
Any of this mean anything to you?
Whoa, no. No, 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 no. Oh, God, you've had 4 franchises. You can't get the goddamn costume right. Well, that's not true. At least, again, Ben Affleck's costume was good. It was the best by far in Superman versus Batman, Suicide Squad, and part of Justice League. But then they jacked it up at the end of Justice League. They cannot figure it out. It's the Batman. It's like Hollywood just cannot help themselves. It's a comic book adaptation. Yes, he's a guy walking around as a bat. So go ahead and put that yellow emblem, and I want the underwear on the outside, not a bunch of armor. He looks like he's wearing a trash bag, and I know this is year 1, and I know they're going for the Arkham Asylum thing. Listen, the mask is fine, the ears are too small, but that costume looks like shit. Absolute shit.
I do not like Dune. I have never liked Dune. It is okay to dislike something, but full disclosure, when I was a little kid, I think I sat through it and probably fell asleep. When I was a grown-up, they brought back all of those, the sci-fi one, or the remakes, or the Frank Herbert's Dune, and Children of Dune, and Snorkels of Dune, and Sand Monsters of Dune, and Pantyhose of Dune. I don't know. I'm not a Dune fan, but you're gonna have to... Hey, that's Poe Dameron! Oh, this is Star Wars. This is just Star Wars again. Are we gonna have Daisy Ridley come in and sing about how she's a Jedi from Jakku?
You can't stop me. I'm a Jedi from Jakku.
This is just Dune Wars. Dune Wars. It's Dune Wars. Star Wars. Is this the Sandcrawler? Oh! They're playing the Pink Floyd song. They're playing the Dark Side of the Moon song. You know what? I'm more of a Sid Barrett fan. Okay, so Sandcrawlers. Hey, that's all the CGI Star Wars-y dudes that are lined up for the New Order, or whatever it is. See? Like I told you, it's a giant butthole. It is a giant butthole, and I don't know why they have to give... You think I'm wrong bug. Oh, it's the same thing. It's a giant bug.
Where is it? Like, see, that is just a straight up Jawa Land Cruiser. I can't, like, millions of dollars of budget, and then they rip off Star Wars? It's like, come on. Again, this is like a concept artist's wet dream to be able...
You can see it in their facial expressions and tones that they wanted to absolutely hate what was shown without ever giving the movie a chance. They're over-exaggerating their responses, and I'm only criticizing this because I used to be this type of person, and I know from personal experience that maintaining this forced hatred of absolutely everything under the fucking sun is not healthy. It's not healthy physically or mentally, and it could also lead you to losing a lot of friendships because no one wants to hang around a Debbie Downer all the time. Hate to break it to you, I learned this the hard way. That's just the reality of the situation. To tie this back to Mecha Random 42, she literally made her mind up on Black Panther by watching a trailer and watching someone else's review of it. A review is just supposed to be a guide, not something that can sway someone from, not liking a movie to liking a movie, so on and so forth. And you know what she did to the person who pointed this fact out at the time? She threatened to fucking sue them. If you don't believe me, watch this clip for yourself.
He says now his words were Mecca took Mahler's opinion. She's just using the opinions of people smarter than her, right? It's like no. I used Mahler's review to see the movie. basically, because you saw
Important.
everything that happened in the movie in his review. I saw the trailer to make my opinion of the movie. I didn't see it. It played on my birthday. Fuck that movie. I'm not going to see it on my birthday, first of all. It didn't look that good, and I'm never going to see it. And Monday Nat can suck out of my asshole if he thinks that I'm going to make a video about him complaining about him, because I'm not. He's not going to use me to get famous. If he mentions my name ever again, I will file a restraining order and take legal actions against him, because he is now attacking, harming, slandering me. If he says one more word about me ever again, I will proceed legally. And I know where he lives. He's in Washington or Oregon or something.
Now, I'm no fan of Matt Jarbo myself. I've been on a couple of streams with him. I've been civil with the guy, but threatening to sue your detractors almost never works out for you in the end. And to also tie this back to Doomcock, look at that first tweet. He waited 24 hours for Gary from Nerdrotic to say something in his defense after Ryan shared his own opinion. Who the fuck does Doomcock think he is? All Doomcock is fucking TMZ, the National Enquirer, and Globe Magazine coming together as a news show hosted by some guy in a papier-mâché mask that alters his fucking voice. That's it. Hey guys, did you hear that Kathleen Kennedy is being shown the door? And now there's a civil war at Lucasfilm. And now she's back in. And now George Lucas is taking Star Wars back, but Kathleen Kennedy is remaining. Is remaining there. But don't worry, she's still being shown the door. In other news, Alex Kurtzman has been fired behind the scenes for the 52nd time within the last 3 months. I swear I'm not making any of this shit up. I have quote-unquote sources. Ooh, bullshit. The fact that people were willing to draw battle lines over this shit is fucking ridiculous. And I just remember this after I had written this video entirely. He reported on fake 4chan rumors regarding Star Trek. Remember when Midnight's Edge and Doomcock reported that Seth MacFarlane was looking to buy Star Trek from CBS? It was a fake fucking rumor. And don't just take my word for it. I've linked both videos in the description to Ket Walski, who is a Star Trek YouTuber who broke this and admitted to scamming the Fandom Menace successfully over on 4chan. And please check those out for yourself. I don't want to just straight up rip his content and put it here in its entirety. I'm completely okay with doing it to Fandom Menace, guys, but, you know, I have to draw a line somewhere. Now let's take a look at what will the Fandom Menace look like in the short term. And I think we're going to see more of the bigger channels come out and basically start distancing themselves from the movement like Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers just did. Now, we can debate the validity of his claim all day long, but that's neither here nor there. And I'll splash his tweet up right now for all to read. It would not surprise me if Jeff from World Class Bullshitters were to do the exact same thing, because all of these people at the top of the food chain now have to think realistically. Is it beneficial for you to continue to wave the Fandom Menace flag? Or to put another way, does being a card-carrying member of the Fandom Menace, still benefit you? Or has it now become an albatross around your neck? All of this drama that has unfolded over the last just 2 months alone is not good for the big players involved. We saw that Jeff wasn't willing to address the drama that unfolded on the High Council between Tom and Mecca. Why not? The drama came to your doorstep. You now have to address it. Not addressing it and sweeping it under the rug and saying, I'm going to move on, has now made the problem even worse. In fact, I could see shows like the High Council getting retired if no one in the movement can get along anymore. And I believe that that is what the Fandom Menace will look like in the short term. Now, what will the Fandom Menace look like long term? In the long term, keep in mind, guys, this is all just my opinion. In the long term, this will just be remembered as another failed movement like Gamergate. Yes, there were outsiders provoking Gamergate back in 2012, 2013, and even 2014 for that matter. But Gamergate's biggest enemy was Gamergate. People like Sargon of Akkad and Mr. Medicare, who was known as the internet aristocrat at the time, left Gamergate behind to build up their own shit. Those two are probably the most famous to come from that movement. The rest that stayed behind are either no longer around, or their presence is so small that you don't even notice them anymore. And I believe this is what the Fandom Menace will become. If the bigger channels in the movement don't react quick enough, the Fandom Menace moniker will become that albatross around their neck that sinks them. And you'll see some of these people will just not recover as a result. If you don't believe me, look at this last tweet from Jeremy, the owner of Geeks and Gamers, that I grabbed. what he said in this tweet is absolutely right. Right now, the people that have been criticizing your movement for years and years and years are sitting back and laughing their fucking asses off right now. You've just given these people more ammunition to use against you, and even the people that were once supporters are now coming out against the movement because there's just too much drama to ignore now. All of this drama is going to bite the big guys in the ass long term if they don't start to distance themselves right now. Distancing yourself doesn't mean just saying you're no longer a part of the movement. It's taking your channel in a new direction. If you build your channel on hate, then at some point, you will become the very thing that you are criticizing. What is it that Doomcock always says at the end of his videos?
Stay angry.
And guys, that's all I've got. There's nothing more that really needs to be said on these guys. I think I've shown more than enough clips of, you know, of their own words to show that this is a failing movement right now. It's like that scene at the end of not at the end of Naked Gun, but during Naked Gun when the police station is burning down. It's like everything is fine. Please disperse. Please disperse. But they want to ignore that. And if I can find the clip to that movie, I'll go ahead, chop out that last bit of audio and put it in there. This is my more off-the-cuff series, so I'm not even going to cut this part out because I'm too fucking lazy to do it. But if you stuck around this long, guys, thanks so much for sticking around. And if you've been following me for long enough, you know I am terrible at enemies. So I will just see you guys next time.
Nothing to see here, please.